Whoa.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Why So Serious, a nerd podcast. I hope you're having a lovely Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening, wherever you are. I hope you're having a fantastic day. You've had a fantastic weekend. We've had a birthday on the pod this week as well. Happy birthday, Dave. I don't know what it's like to be 22, but it must be fantastic because that mustache is going to kick in one day, mate. Don't worry about it. So I hope you've had a good week. How was your birthday?
It was good. It was good. I mean, I didn't do much. I worked on my birthday, and then we fired off some firearms and watched some fights, as you would say the American way is done, Andy. So it was good.
Jolly good. But obviously, if you want to find out a bit more about the Why So Serious and you want to be able to get follow us, so make sure you're getting onto YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, X, and also get yourself across to like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you find your podcast, you will find Why So Serious. Over 300 episodes, you'll find some absolute quality in there. You'll find Jeremy Darr, you'll find Caleb Culver, you'll find David Cochran, and the newbie myself the last few months, Andy Mossam. So make sure you're getting on there and you're getting your fill of Why So Serious, because we are the ones that can fill your hole. That's right, people. So this week we've got a nice nerd therapy for you. We're going to be doing a Star Wars characters recasting with modern day actors and actresses. Something I've been wanting to do for a while is the Star Wars aficionado of the group and is the Star Wars nerd. I've had this plan for a while. It's good to really get into this one. So what we're doing is not like every character out there, to be fair, but we're going to be going through certain characters from each of the trilogies, and we're going to be giving who we think from the modern day group should be playing them. First of all, any honorable mentions for anyone that you thought about including for certain characters but you didn't put in there for whatever reason? Lub, any that you had?
I just went straight up, so no backups. Just I had a vision, one character or one actor for each character.
Fair enough. JD, Dave, either of you had any like honorable mentions that you didn't include?
No, I fit everyone I wanted to, so same as Lub.
I definitely had a bunch, but I won't dive into it a ton. But I almost had Joe Keery as Han Solo in the original trilogy. Was thinking about it, didn't end up going with him. Almost put Gary Oldman as Obi-Wan Kenobi in the original trilogy. Didn't end up going with that. I pulled back a little bit there. And then Timothy Chalamet almost made my Kylo Ren list, but didn't quite make the cut. Not quite tall
It was
enough.
hard to keep him off the list.
I only had one where I thought about him for a while because I think this person has the voice for it, but they're maybe a bit too old to do it. But I had maybe Anthony Hopkins as original trilogy Palpatine. I definitely think he's got the voice to do like original trilogy Palpatine, but I was like, he's 87 now, maybe a bit too. Bearing in mind, Ian McDiarmid was like 38 when he did original Palpatine back in the 80s, so maybe it was a bit too much on the opposite end of that. Let's kick off with the prequels though, as we're going to start off with Qui-Gon Jinn. So JD, why don't you give us your pick for Qui-Gon Jinn?
My Qui-Gon Jinn is none other than the leader of the School of Rock, Jack Black. Imagine that long hair, that ponytail, the leadership there. Let's go. We're bringing a little spice to it. Granted, we're not going full-blown Liam Neeson, of course. We're changing the game a bit, but Jack Black as Qui-Gon Jinn is going to get some seats.
Oh, yeah, JD's not taking this seriously at all. Okay, Black Jackson there.
Better, not as wild.
Dave, who did you have down as Qui-Gon?
How do you want me to follow that? What am I supposed to do with that?
I don't know, Vince Vaughn?
No, I went with a tall, stoic figure who would be an excellent cast, and everybody would miss as soon as he gets cut down after one movie. So I went with Mr. Christian Bale as the wise, against the grain Jedi Qui-Gon Jinn.
Nice. Okay. Good choice. Lab, who did you go for?
Yeah, this was tougher than I thought because Star Wars always did good at casting unknown names in their movies. But when we do the recast, we want to do some big names for the fans out there. I'm not going to be like, oh, this young actor no one knows. No, this young actor no one knows. So my Qui-Gon Jinn is also a very tall, large man. His father, it was in Star Wars, and that is Alexander Skarsgård.
Ooh, okay.
Big, tall, beautiful man.
Fair enough. Yeah, to be fair, pretty much all of mine are big names. I don't think there's anyone you would never recognize in any of my list. But I went with someone who can play the wise role, can play the calm role, but is also very action orientated for when needed for that Duel of the Fates battle. So I went with Keanu Reeves.
Hey.
Straight in the Qui-Gon Jinn. I thought he would suit it. He can pull off the long hair look. I think he wants to play a Jedi as well, to be fair. I know he's always been cast as Revan, but I thought I'd slip him in straight in there. Qui-Gon Jinn, good choice.
Neo as a Jedi, that's so money. He would kill it.
Yeah, he's got like the dour sort of look. Voice talk for a Jedi as well, isn't he? It's like the way he sort of talks like a slightly confused child as Neo sometimes. It would suit the way that the Jedi go about it, isn't it?
Yeah. Nice grim face, nice serious attitude.
Like the John Wick style. Just, yeah, go for it. Let's kick in then to the next choice of Anakin Skywalker. So I've not bothered with episode 1 Kid Anakin because who cares? So episode 2 and episode 3 Anakin. Caleb, who did you go for on this one?
This one was tough for me, but we went with an actor who is in House of the Dragon, Tom Glenn Carney, who of course plays Aegon Targaryen in the House of Dragon. So I think he has that kind of dual characteristics where he can be calm, and then other times he gets crazy and angry. So perfect Anakin.
Nice. I went with someone that I suppose when you're talking about age range is maybe like 4 or 5 years, maybe too old for the part necessarily, but I think they could still pull it off playing like a 19 and 22, 23-year-old. But I went with Jacob Elordi for Anakin. I think he's got the range, he's got the ability to pull off not just the whiny Anakin, not just the whiny Skywalker thing, but obviously the conflicted. I think he would make the turning of Anakin in episode 3 much better than what Hayden Christensen did. I know the writing sucked at that exact point in the film as well, to be fair, but I think he would do a really good job of playing, especially in episode 3 Anakin as well. So I was quite happy with my choice there. David, who did you go with for Anakin?
I actually considered Jacob there a bit on a couple of roles here. I didn't end up going with him on anything though, but almost went with him. This one is kind of similar to what you said as far as age. Even more so, he's older than Jacob, but he looks like he's 10 years younger than he is. As long as we start filming right now and we at least get episode 3, film back to back, I can as of now, looking at him, could totally see him being Anakin in episode 3, and that is Austin Butler. I think he can pull that conflicted teenage role where he's kind of going back and forth with his emotions. He has no backup. He's a great actor, and again, he's 34. I don't know. He looks like he's 25 to me, but he's somehow older than me, which is wild. But yeah, that's my Anakin.
Oh, interesting choice. Definitely episode 3. Yeah, he's got that ability, isn't he, to pull off that sort of smoldering hatred look. JD, who's your joke choice for Anakin Skywalker?
No, not too jokey. It's actually a guy David put on his OLI. And I got Joe Keery, if not really only for the look itself. I feel like he really pulls off the look. And to be honest, he might actually do better at the acting part than Hayden Christensen back then.
Why are we hating on Hayden?
I know, I'm not. It's so sad to see the hate he got back then. But if you really consider it when you're watching the movies, like he didn't exactly nail the role, like acting wise. So as legendary, as much as we love him right now, like it's not like he did a great job acting.
Blasphemy.
Yeah. So let's not act like love. I see what you're doing.
No,
there,
I know.
Some of the worst acting. It wasn't Hayden's fault.
I mean, we're supposed to value the opinion that someone that wanted Jack Black to play Qui-Gon Jinn.
Oh, that's a sneaker, dude. That would kill it. You have no idea.
It's growing on me.
But I don't like. Do you think that Joe Keery, as he is right now in Stranger Things, is a better, more talented actor than Hayden Christensen was in the prequel era? Yeah, I think he might be.
It's hard to tell based on the limited roles I've seen him in. I've only seen him in Stranger Things and then New Guy.
And we haven't really seen Joe Keery take like a dark path down a deep turn, like anything like that. So we don't know.
Fair enough. Good choice. we'll move on to Padme Amidala then. So, Dave, let's kick off with you on this one. Who are you gonna pick for Padme?
Padme. Who did I pick? Well, I guess. Oh no, actually, that works. She's supposed to be older than Anakin, anyways, because they had that weird relationship. Perfect. My Padme is. I did have an OLI. I'm not going to list her off. I feel like somebody's going to pick her, which is why I didn't say it earlier. So we'll see. But my main pick, Emilia Clarke, Padme. Give me those big, expressive queen eyes from Game of Thrones. She can be my queen. I mean, any day. Queen in Naboo. I think she'd kill it. Let's do it. Emilia Clarke and Austin Butler, Anakin and Padme.
Interesting. Lub, who did you go for?
We went with a pretty big name in Marvel, Haley Steinfeld. I mean,
Ooh,
age appropriate, very good looking. Could be a great Padme. Was that your other one, Dave?
Not Padme.
Okay.
No. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. I didn't even think about Haley Steinfeld for any role. To be fair, I thought maybe she was too good for stuff.
Show up again.
JD, who did you pick for Padme?
All right, for Padme, went up in age a little bit for this one.
Yeah.
But we're going to meet Jack Black's humor. We're going with Kristen Wiig as Padme. She's going to really lighten up the tone there with, the scenes with Joe Keery are going to be money. Her and Jack Black, maybe a secret behind the scenes romance between Jack Black and Kristen Wiig causing conflict with Qui-Gon and Anakin, something like that. So I think we're going full blown like a Taika Waititi style Star Wars.
Oh, Jesus.
Sounds like it. Yeah.
It's going to be very rapey with Kristen Wiig and Joe Keery. She's like 20 years older than him.
It already kind of is.
It is a rapey. Yeah.
Episode 1.
Oh, god damn. Okay.
Oh,
Well, this is not going the way I thought it was going to go to.
I love it.
It's fair. My choice for Padme Amidala, I went down the Stranger Things route, and I went for Millie Bobby Brown.
That's the one.
Yeah,
I
was
was
waiting for.
I thought she was probably quite the obvious choice, to be fair. And I was like, sorry, I'll go for it anyway, because I think she's the right age. She would suit the role. I think she's British. She went to primary school in my town. So
Wow.
Padme doesn't speak with a British accent, though, right?
Who
Were you just saying she's British, so that's just better in general, regardless?
well, yeah, it is.
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't. It's an American accent in that role, but all right,
It's true.
I mean, your pod has improved since I've come on board, is it not? I mean, we improve everything. I mean, look at the state of America since we left you. Jesus.
I mean, things went downhill after you guys left. It went up first, and then it started dropping back.
Okay, so let's move on then. So moving on to the prequel version of Obi-Wan Kenobi. I went with Charlie Cox, Mr. Daredevil himself on this one. I did struggle a little bit because he's sort of trying to think who's got the charm, who can pull off the sarcasm, the sass, but who can also be serious in their fighting. So I did struggle a little bit with it, and my wife told me that she would never have recast him. It doesn't matter what age Ewan McGregor was, she would still cast him as Kenobi either way.
Right.
But I thought Charlie Cox would probably be a good fit into this. He's the right sort of age, probably for episode 2 and 3 anyway. Obviously, maybe a bit too old for episode 1, like the young 25-year-old Kenobi, but he would still pull it off all the way, I think. So that was my choice. Lub, who did you go for?
I went with a slightly not as big name, kind of my Anakin and Obi-Wan are 2 B level actors, I'd say. And this is Oliver Jackson Cohen, who's from Hill House and Invisible Man. Yeah, I mean, he's played a wide range of roles. I think he could do the Obi-Wan, and I think he has the look. Like if he grew the beard out a little bit, he would definitely look like Obi-Wan.
Yeah, I see that. That's fair. JD, who did you get for Mr. Obi-Wan Kenobi prequel style?
I put Tim Chalamet in this one. So I really like the duo of Jack Black and Tim Chalamet. We couldn't put him as Luke, but I kind of wanted Tim in here. So I think that dynamic with Jack Black and Tim Chalamet is going to work. It really will. Jack Black's not going to be as wise, as maybe coherent as Qui-Gon, and Tim Chalamet will be a little probably a little more annoying than our regular Obi-Wan. So Jack Black, Tim Chalamet, that'll give our Anakin Skywalker just the upbringing he needs.
You really subverted expectations with Chalamet as Obi-Wan instead of all the other possible options.
Right?
And then Dave, who did you go for Kenobi?
Dude, I didn't even want to do this, honestly. I'm with your wife.
All right, calm down.
This was the hardest one for me, other than Luke from the original, just because nothing feels right. Nothing feels right thinking of Obi-Wan being played as anybody else. And I'm not even gonna lie, I had 2 picks here that I didn't even decide from yet because I didn't like any of them. So I'm just gonna have to pick one of them right now. And strictly based off look and British accent, we're going with Charlie Hunnam. He may be a little old.
Ooh.
And if he's old, then we're going Richard Madden. Who is Rob
If
Stark.
he's old.
If he's too old, then
To
we'll
be
cut him out.
determined.
We'll go with Richard Madden. But Charlie Hunnam at least got the look, but there's nobody who replaces it. So it didn't work for me. Couldn't find somebody.
Real quick.
Mid.
Thoughts on the Supergirl trailer? We weren't impressed. I don't think any of us were impressed. I personally think it'll still be a good movie. I'm still excited for the movie, but that trailer didn't do anything for me. What do you guys think?
I kind of liked it.
Yeah.
Good, fair. I'm glad you did. That's good. It didn't look bad or anything. It's just like didn't do anything to get me excited about the movie.
Only thing that did was 0.3 seconds, and that was a quick shot of Lobo. I was like, oh, that's dope. And then the rest went back to, well, all right.
Yeah, fair. Speaking of getting excited, someone's saying I'd smash the one in the hat, I guess. So we know that it's not Lub.
Oh,
So you got your pick of 3 on the pod there. So
I think I'm in a beanie technically, so I don't know if I can.
yeah, it's just you two.
A car is a truck. A hat.
Then again, is beanie even a term in the UK? I don't know.
yeah, yes it is. Yes it is. Yeah, and technically I'm wearing a snapback, so maybe it's just JD.
They call it a soft cap.
yeah, exactly. I don't know. It's a wooliker.
We'll move on to our last one of the prequels then, which is an original trilogy Palpatine. Dave, who did you pick?
Yeah. So I was gonna pick the same guy for prequel and original. There was somebody kind of perfect, but I could not pull off of this prequel casting, so I changed the prequel one. But he looks perfect, and we've talked about it before. Give me Tom Hiddleston as young Palpatine, Chancellor Palpatine, Senator Palpatine. Give me Tom.
Yeah, he was always my pick to be if they did like a prequel series for Palpatine, that he would play him. So I'm just going to say it as well. Yeah, Tom Hiddleston was my pick for Palpatine as well. To be fair, I couldn't see anyone
Smart
else
guy.
fitting the role to as good as that. So, JD, who did you pick?
Well, we skipped prequel Palpatine.
This is
But
prequel
That's
Palpatine.
what it was.
This is
my
prequel
bad. I thought you
Palpatine.
said. I think you actually said OG trilogy Palpatine. But
No,
anyway,
I said if I was going to pick someone to play like him in a prequel and in a prequel TV series,
Gotcha.
it would be Tom Hiddleston.
okay. Well, my Palpatine, and this will make way more sense once you see my old Palpatine. But my Palpatine for the prequels is William Smith. Will Smith. I'm serious, you guys. You might not
wait.
see it yet.
Which Will
I
Smith?
went
Are we
to type
talking,
it in.
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Will Smith?
Yes, we're gonna bring the
I was like, all right,
freshness
William?
into the Star Wars universe, but we're gonna stay sinister, just a little more fresh than that. And you'll see when we get to the OG trilogy, it's all gonna come full circle with his older actor. But Will Smith wouldn't do a bad job.
Are you sure you don't mean William Smith, born in 1933 actor? He did die 4 years ago, but he looks like a better fit.
or William Smith, the Canadian songwriter singer.
Yeah,
Are we actually talking about the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Will Smith,
Oh yeah,
for Palpatine?
oh yeah.
I mean, to be
You
fair,
are
he's married
out
to
there today.
Palpatine in real life.
Let's just get it,
so
dude.
he's kinda got the
You
worst
never
going.
know. We didn't want Heath Ledger as Joker, did we? You never know. Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. It was chaos. Everyone was angry. Look at us
Should
now.
have been Will Smith.
Okay. So JD with some really out there predictions for his prequel trilogy, with the likes of Jack Black and Timothy Chalamet as Obi-Wan
Can you
Kenobi.
read that off so I can envision the movie that's playing in my
Yeah. Come on, JD, read your prequel choices for us again.
All right. Qui-Gon Jinn, Jack Black, Anakin Skywalker, Joe Keery, Steve from Stranger Things. Padme is Kristen Wiig. Excited about that one. Obi-Wan, Tim Chalamet. Palpatine, Will Smith.
I love it.
I think you
By the
could have
way-
challenged me to put together the weirdest cast for the prequels, and I couldn't have done a better job than that.
I'm not stoked about my
amazing.
Obi-Wan choice, but you know, I'm pretty
So-
good with the rest of it.
Your Anakin's older than your Obi-Wan, but it's fine. Joe Keery's 33 and Timothy's
I feel like
27 or something.
James Gunn is directing JD's movie for sure. With all
No,
the
Taika.
No,
comedic
I
characters.
think
Oh, Taika.
It's too far.
Yeah,
It's
Taika was
too
it.
far for James Gunn, even.
Damn. Okay, so we rounded off the prequels. Then let's move
Oh,
on
wait.
to the.
You didn't get my Palpatine yet. Sorry.
No one cares.
Well,
Move on. No, I'm
soon as you
joking. I'm
lose.
sorry. Go on then. Sorry, Lab. Who was your Palpatine?
I thought it was a pretty good one. Christoph Waltz. He doesn't have the exact look, but he can definitely play the character of Palpatine, the sinister.
He could play anything. He's in that new Frankenstein movie I'm in the middle of right now,
Oh,
and
cool.
whatever he's in, he's good in. So I always enjoy it.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good choice, to be fair. Okay, let's move on now, to the original trilogy. So let's start off then. Caleb, since I missed you off, let's give you a chance to get in there first with your old Ben Kenobi choice.
Well, let me go last because I got a crazy one for last.
Oh, is it crazier than JD? JD, why don't you kick us off then?
Kevin
have one.
Spacey is my old Obi-Wan.
John Dutton.
Come on, that's actually not bad. That's actually not bad. Kevin Spacey would do it. Like, what do you want me to dip my balls in honey and coconut? Would you do the same thing? No, because I got some coconut. No, I think he would actually do good as Obi-Wan.
I don't think I was prepared enough for this episode today.
Someone with a beard in Yellowstone. I could see it.
Go on then, David. Who did you pick as old Ben Kenobi?
I don't know why I have a feeling Lub was going to pick this. So I'm kind of glad Lub let me go first because I feel like I'm about to steal your thunder for a weird reason. But it's not that crazy. So they went with Alec Guinness, a classical actor, brought him into the world of sci-fi. So I figured we do it again. Let's bring in Daniel Day-Lewis, classic method actor, into the sci-fi world to be an all-time old Obi-Wan Kenobi.
I like that's
That
not
was
my
yours,
choice,
Love.
but I like that. I like
Yeah,
that.
it's a good choice.
I felt like you would like it.
I feel like my choice is boring compared to everyone else's now. Because I went with Ewan McGregor.
I mean, okay.
Who better to play old Ben Kenobi than the guy that played Kenobi? He's going to be getting towards the right age. He's starting to look frail as if he's been out in the Tatooine sun for 20 years. So I thought, why not? It's got
Watch them
a way to get him back in there.
Watch them reboot Star Wars in like 15 years, and that becomes a reality. Redoing
I'm there.
episode 4. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Go on then, Lab. Who's your crazy pick?
Well, this is obviously a pretend movie that's never going to happen. This is all in our head, and we're going full circle. And I do have a backup pick just in case you guys don't like it. But my old Ben Kenobi is Liam Neeson.
Same thing.
Interesting.
There.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You know, he played Qui-Gon. Now he's the perfect age to play old Ben Kenobi.
Easily.
Fair. I don't think that's too out there. To be fair, it's not too wild.
Just
I
'cause
like
he
that.
already played a role.
Yeah.
Yeah.
John Blake in the comments saying he got to meet Hayden Christensen over the summer and he was really nice, lots of fun. I've heard from the few people that have met him that he definitely is a nice guy. It's so nice to have obviously seen the way that he's now treated by Star Wars fans compared to the way that he was.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's move on then. JD. Oh, sorry, go.
Sorry, he also said Ian McGregor is John Constantine right above that, and I just say I love it. I love Ian McGregor as anything really, but JD, you're the Constantine guy. What could you see that happening?
It doesn't
No,
work for
that's a
me
no.
necessarily. It really doesn't. I think he needs to be a little like a grittier, more like you're down to like working class, kind of a bastard. But no, seriously, like the butcher from
Carl Urban.
Carl Urban.
Yeah, Carl Urban, I think, would just be a perfect Constantine. I think he has the
Absolutely.
attitude, not really the look, but the attitude. Ewan McGregor doesn't really work for me, but
Hey,
it could work. He's a good actor. I'm sure he could pull it off with the Holly. You know, they can make him look the part and everything. He could do it.
Carl Urban's going blonde as Johnny in Mortal Kombat, so he could be a blonde Constantine.
There you go.
Fair. Dave, let's move on then to your choice for Mr. Luke Skywalker.
Okay, so this was the second hardest for me, and I literally just picked it this morning. Didn't think of this person at all, and then when he popped up, it was just perfect for me. And I'm sorry, I said I wasn't. I said I would have done the runner-up. I had Dacre Montgomery initially, Billy from Stranger Things. but it just I liked it at first. I want to cast him and
actually
stuff,
really
but
good.
it just didn't 100% hit. So who I went for, and this is the smallest name I've got on the list too. You probably won't even recognize the name, but you will. Asa German. He plays Sam in Gen V.
Okay.
Like, if you look at the images of him and all the pressers and everything, like, I could easily see him being a young Luke Skywalker in A New Hope and following him through it. I think he's a good actor too.
Sam's the
I
crazy
wanna see
one,
him in
right?
some more stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. The one that like sees the puppets and stuff.
Right,
and
right.
got
No,
super
he
strength.
has the look. I could see it. Good age too.
He's got a much stronger jawline
Yeah.
than Mark Hamill as well. So yeah, playing to the
Absolutely.
stoic. Playing to the
I want to do
stoic side of
Sebastian
the Jedi.
Stan, but he's too old. He's too old now. We
Mm.
missed the, but he looks like a young Mark Hamill. It's wild.
He does.
There's some
Mhm.
pictures
Yeah,
they look so
right.
alike.
Fair enough. I feel like some of my choices in here are too safe. I haven't gone as wild as maybe I should have done with this when thinking the extremes. I was just trying to think who's going to be the best people I could possibly pick, no matter the budget here. So I went the clear and obvious choice, Timothée Chalamet for Luke Skywalker.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I to me, when I was thinking about it, it was a struggle to think
He's
who
on
could
here,
fit this role, but he could play that young whiny kid and then mature into the new Jedi Master we see in Episode 6, I think. So yeah, that was my choice, plain and simple. Caleb, who did you pick?
Yeah, this one was tough for me too. But I think I found a pretty good Luke Skywalker. He's a little bit older, but he looks young for his age. And it is Louis Pullman,
Okay.
Thunderbolts. Yeah, I think he has that ominous
Love that.
Jedi look.
Luke Bob Skywalker. Nice. Yeah, I think that's a good choice, to be fair. Yeah, I could see him doing that. JD, enlighten
All right.
us.
Need a strong lead, right? We're going to go popular, up and comer. We're going Glenn Powell, baby, all the way.
Okay.
Glenn Powell's our guy. He's the lead guy here. Let's do it.
Wow. Okay. I thought maybe a bit too old.
You know what's funny about your age? No, but you know what's funny about Glenn Powell is after The Running Man, dude. Like, I think that was actually not his best acting performance. I liked the movie; it was fun, but especially the first half of it, he felt like an actor trying to act as opposed to like being the character. And I haven't really noticed that from him since. Loved him in Twister, and even that romance with Sydney Sweeney was solid too. And he was a great actor in those. So you kind of expect a progression of like better and better. And Running Man, I don't think was his best performance.
It was okay. He was good.
Yeah, it was okay. It
He's
was
good
bad.
in Dark Knight Rises.
Which one? Oh, Dark Knight Rises.
Nobody. Anybody?
Yeah, he was in-
Anybody remember Dark Knight Rises?
Yeah,
Yeah, he was
yeah.
the Wall Street guy,
Just
wasn't he?
gets his
Yeah.
head bounced off the table.
Yeah.
Fair.
Good role. It was a good role.
Next on the list, then, let's go with the young, dynamic Leia Organa. I'll go first on this one. I picked a young and upcoming actress, so I think we're doing a really good job here. McKenna Grace. I went with. So she's been in the most recent Ghostbusters films as the young lass there. She recently did Five Nights at Freddy's, did a rom-com called Forgetting You. You probably recognize her if you saw her, if you don't know who she is. But I think she would make a good choice to be Leia, because she would progress herself as she goes through the series. And I think she'd do a good job on that one.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
I
I know who
She's-
that is.
She's good.
I know
She's
exactly.
in the new Hunger Games movie.
I think so
the
as well,
one
yeah,
coming
yeah.
out soon. She's going to be in it. Yeah.
JD, who's your Leia Organa?
All right, my Leia. So one of the issues with Leia back in the day, she didn't like how she was sexualized and all that. So since it's not going to be her acting it, we're just going to go with Margot Robbie. She won't mind.
There's no bras in space.
Margot Robbie is Leia. Glenn Powell and Margot Robbie are gonna, warm the audience up. It's gonna get a little hot and heavy with those scenes until we find out the reality of
Brother and
their
sister.
lineage. But until we get there,
Brother and sister are going to get hot and heavy.
Yep. So that'll
Took
lead to
out
the
my
more
entire mic
impactful
stand.
shock value once we find out that they're related because of all the crazy stuff they were doing together in the episode 4.
With Kevin Spacey jerking it off in the corner.
Oh, good lord. I didn't condone that. That was not part of mine. That was not my script.
Hold on. I like this right there. Karen Gillan plays Nebula. Give her the Mara Jade role. Thank you. You're welcome.
Ooh, that's solid.
Okay.
Fair. Follow that up, Dave, with your Leia Organa choice.
Yes. So already mentioned as her mother. I went with Haley Steinfeld for Leia Organa. So Lub, I believe you had her for Padme.
I did. I like it.
Fair. Caleb.
We're going back to the Game of Thrones world. And we're going with Olivia Cook, Alicent Hightower. So,
Ooh, that's a great choice.
Olivia Cook. Obviously, I'm just going to have to look who that is.
Allison. Oh, yeah, you didn't do the House of Dragons, did you, Andy?
Okay, I know who she is, though.
yeah.
Yeah.
She's
Okay.
in Ready
yeah,
Player
fair.
One, a few other things.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, she was, the
girl.
Xena
Artemis.
or whatever
No,
that is.
Artemis.
Artemis, there you go. Yeah.
Artemis.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on then to Leia Organa's destined partner, Han Solo. David, who is your cool, suave Han Solo?
My cool suave Han Solo was Joe Keery. Then I took him out, and why get messy? Give it to Alden. He killed it as a young Solo. He was great in it. Let him take over Harrison Ford's role in the
guy who
main,
played in the actual
original
movie, right?
trilogy. Yeah, Alden Ehrenreich. Sorry, stupid last name, but yeah, that's my Han Solo. Let's not make it complicated.
I like him in Weapons.
I like him in everything,
Oh,
dude.
yeah.
Even in the stupid role in Ironheart. Yeah, I liked him in that even.
JD, who did you pick for Mr. Solo?
All right, this one's funny, but I think it also actually works. Seth Rogen as Han Solo. I mean, come on, it's actually not that bad. And like his buddy Jonah Hill, he can try to do a little better kind of drama stuff going on. Like in Funny People, he can get a little more dramatic.
But definitely
I
it has
think
a
he
scene with
do
him
it.
and Chewie smoking.
Exactly.
Exactly. Just blazing them. And he's got the rugged look. It would be funny, but I think it would still work. Him and Chewie running around together, Seth Rogen, let's go.
Dude, you walk up on them in the Tatooine bar.
Literally what I was
passing
thinking.
Back and forth.
Literally what I was thinking.
I'm here for it. God damn it, I'm sold.
I like it. He
Yeah.
needs to be
To be
skinny
fair-
Seth Rogen, though.
Yeah.
I could see him in that
100%.
Han Solo, like
Big Seth
white
Rogen.
white shirt and the the sort of the waistcoat. So I could see probably
You could see it
not
in the
bad choice.
uniform. You could.
It's so funny. Him and Margot. Isn't Margot your Princess Leia?
You'd be
He's
obsessing over
stoked.
her.
Oh man, I've taken this far too seriously. I should be picking silly choices. That's funny. Lub, who did you pick?
Well, Dave mentioned him. He is a little too old for Luke now, but I think he could be a perfect Han Solo, and that's Sebastian Stan.
Hell yeah.
I'll accept
Little-
that.
Interesting.
old,
I think I had him as Han Solo originally, and then I did take him out.
Mm-hmm.
The only issue is Obi-Wan doesn't have a metal arm. That would be wild. So they'd have to do some prosthetics.
Han Solo, you mean?
He said,
Why are we talking about Kenobi with a metal?
Whoops.
Did Anakin chop Kenobi's arm off in this scenario?
Right?
Fair enough. I went for again what I thought was probably a clear and obvious choice. I think Dave's already had him down on his list, but I went for Austin Butler as Han Solo.
Mhm.
I thought
Like it.
in my far too serious take of new actors playing Star Wars that he would make a good Han Solo.
Yeah.
Let's move on then. Lando Calrissian, Lub.
Well, we went with Aldous Hodge, but like, I almost had there were a couple of guys I was considering, but he's got the gravitas, the kind of spicy nature from Lando has.
Aldous Hodge. Cool. Yeah. Okay.
Fuck,
fair.
man.
Good choice.
Oh yeah, that works.
JD, who did you have?
All right, I'm thinking card games, magic tricks. I'm thinking casinos.
David
I'm
Blaine.
thinking Jesse
I was
Eisenberg.
just going to say, I swear, if you say Jesse Eisenberg.
Jesse Eisenberg. He's really going to get on Seth Rogen's nerves. I think that would play really well together.
What are you doing?
He's going to be a little asshole in the background that kind of helps out at the end and figures it out.
Oh, dear.
Not bad.
James Franco's got to make an appearance at this point in one.
He doesn't. He doesn't.
Oh, dear me.
You'd be
Okay.
good Han Solo, though.
Yeah.
I went with again, probably clear and obvious choice, but Donald Glover. I think he absolutely nailed it in the Solo movie. So I saw no reason to make anyone different than him, to be fair. He had absolutely. My favourite part of the entire Solo movie was Donald Glover's rendition of Lando. So
Yeah.
that's where I went with. It's pretty safe again, but there we are. David, who was your choice?
That would have made sense for me to do since I already went with Alden for Han
was gonna
Solo.
say.
But I didn't even. There was one name that popped into my head, and I literally didn't consider anybody else. It popped in my head immediately, and I was like, "Oh yeah, perfect." Lakeith Stanfield. So I didn't even consider anybody else past that point. I think he'd be a perfect Han Solo, or not Han Solo, Lando Calrissian. Good Lord.
What's he from?
A ton of stuff. I mean, he's in all the Get Out movies. He's God. What's the movie we just watched with Jonathan Majors, the Western?
Lakeith.
How Hard They Fall.
Lakeith.
Or
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Dude, he's in a ton of stuff. I don't know why I'm failing to think, but
He's hypnotized in Get Out.
in Get Out,
Right.
he's the one who tells him to get out when the camera goes off. He's in Sorry to Bother You, Atlanta. He's in a bunch of stuff.
Okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Fair. Let's move on to our last pick of the original trilogy then, which is going to be Old Man Palpatine. I went back and forth on about 3 different ones for this. I already mentioned I sort of thought about Anthony Hopkins to start with because he's got the voice, but maybe too decrepit to play it now. I then thought about Ralph Fiennes. I thought he's got the acting choice to play him, but not the voice. And I finally settled on Jeremy Irons.
Okay.
I thought he's got the viciousness and the brutality to play a Palpatine, so that was my choice. David, who did you pick?
So I mentioned earlier I went with Tom Hiddleston for Young. I almost did Stellan Skarsgård for both because I felt like he could have nailed the prequel and the original, but since I skipped him on the prequel, we skipped him here. We went with the guy who's been in a very old makeup and a very famous movie where I almost looked Palpatine-like, and that is Mr. Gary Oldman. He played Dracula. He's played in a ton of stuff. He's one of the best actors alive, in my opinion, and I think he would kill it as Palpatine.
Fair. Good choice. Caleb.
We went back to Game of Thrones again. You got to go with Tywin
Man's
Lannister.
milking it.
Wait a second.
Charles Dance.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
No, Charles Dance. That's it.
Yeah,
That's
okay.
old
Did we
Palpatine.
not have Count Dooku on the prequel list? Did I randomly add that, but we never made
No,
that
you-
official?
You randomly added that in.
That was on my list, and I had Charles Dance for Count Dooku. I
But
just realized I
Dooku's a
never got to
solid-
read that off.
Yeah,
I was
that's
like,
a
wait
good
a
one to
second.
cast still.
That is, yeah.
Yeah,
I like
well,
it.
that was mine. And
Do you have a Dooku?
Fair.
Charles Dance, what Love just
Charles
said
Dance.
for
Okay,
Palpatine.
that's
Yeah.
it.
JD, who is your old man Palpatine?
All right.
Can you just remind us who your young one was first? Because you said that it tied in.
Will Smith. It doesn't necessarily tie in, but
Jada
I
Pinkett
think they
Smith
could pull
this
it off.
time around.
we're talking about Palpatine, right? One of the best cinematic villains ever. Not talked about enough as one of the best cinematic villains ever, being the big bad of 9 movies technically, but and let's go with the guy who plays God in a movie. Every other movie he's in, he plays a president. We're going with Morgan Freeman. Morgan Freeman is Palpatine. He's God. He's Star Wars, the devil of Star Wars. So he'll do it.
Fair.
But you're going to
I
go
see
Denzel.
that. Fair, yeah. Good.
He looks too young because Morgan's already got some wrinkles. You know, he's nice old.
Yeah.
Mold. Love that guy.
So, Caleb, just recap your original trilogy picks for us.
So we have Liam Neeson as old Ben Kenobi, Lewis Pullman as Luke Skywalker, Olivia Cook as Leia, Sebastian Stan as Han Solo, Aldous Hodge as Lando, and Charles Dance as Palpatine.
David, just review yours for us.
Asa German as Luke Skywalker, Alden Ehrenreich as Han Solo, Haley Steinfeld as Leia Organa, Daniel Day-Lewis as Obi-Wan Kenobi, Lakeith Stanfield as Lando Calrissian, and Gary Oldman as the Emperor.
Nice. I went with Ewan McGregor for Old Ben Kenobi, Timothy Chalamet for Luke Skywalker, Michaela Grace for Leia Organa, Austin Butler for Han Solo, Donald Glover for Lando, and Jeremy Irons for Emperor Palpatine. JD, let's recap yours.
Obi-Wan Kenobi is Kevin Spacey. Luke Skywalker is Glenn Powell. Leia is Margot Robbie. Han Solo is Seth Rogen. Lando is Jesse Eisenberg. And Palpatine is Morgan Freeman.
It's like the perfect millennials casting for the original trilogy. Love that. Let's move on then to the sequels. So we're going to be covering Rey, Kylo Ren, Poe, Finn, and General Hux as a random one to throw in there. Lub, kick us off with your General Hux.
Oh, General Hux. The sequels were tough because they just happened like 5-6 years ago. But we went with someone who's been in the news lately, someone who got shit on by a very famous director. So now everyone's got his back. We're going to bring him back into Star Wars, or bring him to Star Wars. Paul Dano.
Okay.
Good one.
Yeah, you do it.
JD, who did you pick as the Imperious Hux?
Hux. Jonah Hill. Dude, him getting pissed off and all the shit that's going on. Just getting bullied around by Kylo. He would absolutely nail General Hux. That'd be perfect.
I think that's your best choice yet, to be fair.
Dude,
I took this way.
Which Jonah Hill is it? Is it Moneyball
Like
Jonah
It
Hill?
can
or
actually
is
be the
this
skinny
Wolf of
Jonah
Wall
Hill.
Street?
Yeah, Wolf of Wall Street.
Oh, fair. I went with, for General Hux, Daniel Radcliffe.
Oh,
Interesting.
okay.
I thought
Harry
it was
Potter.
yeah, yeah, it had to be
That's-
British.
Serious. Okay.
No.
Oh, hilarious. Okay, I got a funny choice in for once. Okay, cool.
You'll
David, who did
It'll
you
all
pick?
make sense in time. It'll all make sense. My General Hux is another Harry Potter alum, Thomas Felton, Malfoy.
Yeah.
We went with Malfoy and Harry for our General Hux.
Wow. Great minds
Yeah.
think alike.
Well, you know, we are connected by the Tash.
Andy, you have to love Harry Potter as a Brit, right? Isn't that like
I
code?
can't stand it.
Law. No, get him out.
Whoa, revoke his card. Revoke his Brit card.
I mean,
Half
Voldemort
the-
is one of the most overrated villains I've ever come across in my life.
Yeah, he didn't
He
work.
does get
as
his
a
ass
villain
kicked
for
by
me
high
either.
school kids.
I'm more lethal than
Expelliarmus
Voldemort.
Counterattack.
I could probably take down more kids at that school than Voldemort did, and not in any bad like that kind of way either. Just before you start raising your eyebrows at me, David,
Careful.
I could beat some more kids to death than Voldemort killed in that final raid. So
It's true.
I think I could do more damage than he could.
There's that meme. It's like Darth Vader and Voldemort
Yeah.
talking. He's like, I took over a galaxy. You struggled to take over a high school.
Yeah, fair. Let's move on to let's go with Poe Dameron. So, David, who did you pick as your Poe?
My Poe Dameron. We're going with Dev Patel.
Oh, nice.
And everything I see him in, I think be a perfect Poe Dameron. Let's see it.
Guy.
I'm for that choice. I went with Sebastian Stan.
Mm.
I really did want to squeeze him in somewhere because I do like him as an actor, and I thought that was probably like the off-the-cuff sarcasm and like one-liners back. It would probably fit him quite well. So, JD, who did you pick as your Poe Dameron?
I had a tough time doing this between two, and I got either Jason Bateman or Paul Rudd as Poe Dameron would really bring the energy to that to the Star Wars. No, they kind of lighthearted, but can kind of fit in the Poe Dameron role. But I think it would bring a lot more charm. Which one would be better, Paul Rudd or Jason Bateman?
I was thinking probably Bateman.
I was going to say
Bateman?
Rudd. Oh, I was gonna...
Yeah. All right, I'll go Paul Rudd just to keep it even. We're split. No decision.
No decision.
But he's picked Rudd. That's the decision.
Yeah, Rudd was the one on my list, but then Bateman, I was thinking about it last minute, and I was like, man, he would really do good. I love him so much. Bateman.
Okay, Caleb, who's your Poe Dameron?
I think it's an actor who's on, I know JD's list, maybe someone else's list as well, but he's from Top Gun Maverick. He's flown planes before, and it's Glenn Powell.
Hey, that's perfect.
Fair. That's a really fair choice, actually. I like that. He's got the suaveness to pull it off. Nice.
Right.
Let's go with Poe's best friend Finn next then. So I was tempted to go with Anthony Mackie just to go opposite Sebastian Stan because they've got that rapport already. But I did go with someone who I think is a better actor and can probably pull off the more serious side of Finn better, which is Michael B. Jordan.
Okay.
Maybe a bit old because he's like 40 as well now. But
Still
again,
looks 20.
yeah, the guy
You know what
is
they say.
unreal. And quite interestingly, Michael B. Jordan is one of the minority shareholders of my local Premier League football club.
Well, there you go.
So I've seen him knocking around my local town a few times. God knows where he wants to come down here. It's an absolute shithole. But there we go. JD, who did you pick as Finn?
My Finn is in a movie I just watched for the first time yesterday. That's F1. And it was a good movie, but I guess it was a tiny bit overhyped for me. But anyway, still enjoyed it. But the actor I'm choosing for Finn is Damson Iris.
Yeah, I could
he
see
would
that.
obviously kill it. Love that guy. I was watching F1 and I was thinking if you recast Black Panther, I would love that guy as Black Panther.
He's like the lead favorite. Like all the rumors about they may still recast him. He's the one everybody keeps mentioning, and he was the one in the promo art that they did
for sure. And man, it fits.
You thought F1 was overhyped? To me,
I still liked it a lot. It's just
my film of the year.
Compared it to Top Gun Maverick, and Top Gun Maverick, dude, I really liked that movie. So I was expecting that level of love for it, but it was still a solid like eight, mid eights.
I love that film. It's probably the most
good.
film I've watched the most
good.
this year, to be fair. So, David, who was your Finn?
Well, it would have been cool if JD waited a night to watch F1 because that was my pick too. But Idris as Finn. I was gonna go Caleb McLaughlin at first.
I was too almost.
Like I feel like that's the instant thought right now. And he hasn't really. I don't know. He's kind of had some corny acting, so I don't know that I'm convinced about Caleb McLaughlin yet. So we're going Damson Idris.
Fair. Caleb, your turn.
I probably should have had this guy as Lando, and I think one of you guys had him as Lando, but he could do Finn, and it's Donald Glover. He's been in Star Wars before. Let's get him in a bigger role in Finn yelling out for Rey, trying to find her the whole time. Very cool.
I've got something to tell you and just never tells her. It's fair.
How did you guys do a Star Wars recast and just recast with Star Wars actors?
Just a couple.
Yeah, just got to get them in there. They deserve to be in there.
Jonah Hill, General Hux over here. It's
never been a great cast.
The Jack Black Qui-Gon Jinn is really sticking to it.
Second best ever.
Okay, so we'll move on to the final two. We'll do them all as a duo. So we've got Rey and Kylo Ren. The Padme and Anakin of the sequels, or not, depending on how much you like them. Caleb, kick us off. Who did you have as your Rey and Kylo combo?
My Reylo?
Oh, yeah.
Well, with Kylo first, I had a couple different ones for this, but we decided on Jacob Elordi for Kylo. I almost considered Kit Harington going back to Game of Thrones, but I realized he's way too short. You need you need someone tall. Jacob Elordi's like 6'5", so I think he's perfect for the role. I mean, he's kind of similar acting style to Adam Driver. And then for my Rey, we got Zendaya. I had to bring her in, and I think she would be great at it. If you've only seen her in Spider-Man, she's not even trying to act in Spider-Man. That's like the easiest role she's ever had. She's actually a really good actress, so I think she could do it.
Yeah.
Okay. Dave, do you want to get next?
Combo. Love just casting the cast of Euphoria for Star Wars. I like it. Do I? I don't know if I do like it.
I didn't do Cindy.
And maybe I would have liked it more if you did. Unfortunately, we have the same Kylo Ren.
Okay.
Yeah, I got Jacob Elordi for my Kylo Ren too. So we were like-minded there. Yeah, super tall. He seems perfect for it. In my Rey, I actually went with Anya Taylor-Joy. she's dope. I love her in everything she's in, and she does great action projects. Like, she's down to do the stunts. She'd be an awesome Star Wars heroine to follow around.
Yeah, that's absolutely fair. And do you know why it's fair, Dave? Because I've got the exact same pick for Rey. I went with Anna Taylor-Joy as well. So Anna Taylor-Joy for Rey, and for my Kylo Ren, I went with Robert Pattinson.
Oh, that's what I did too.
Really?
He's perfect. Yeah, I have Robert Pattinson as Kylo. That's not even funny. I feel like he is like so much like Adam Driver in that role. Probably could be.
He's Batman. That's why you're seeing it.
Yeah, Kylo is kind of Batman.
Yeah, right.
Absolutely see it.
So yeah, that was my combo: Anna Taylor-Joy and Robert Pattinson. JD, then who's your coupling that we already know?
So you got my Kylo. So I wanted to do Zoe Kravitz just for the fun of the duo of the Batman, but instead I just went with Zoe Saldana because she's like my favorite female actress, and she would be cool as Rey. And give her another giant franchise to make $1 billion movie into.
She doesn't need any more, does she?
Yeah.
Okay.
She's already got the Treks and the Avatars and everything else on top of it. And the Marvels.
Avatar.
Don't need the Star Wars on top of that as well. Jesus.
Yeah.
She's about to have. Oh, well, if she's in Doomsday, I don't know about the Gamora thing, but if she's in Doomsday, she's gonna have like a
Big year.
$2 billion. Yeah, she's gonna have a big year.
Isn't she already in like the top 4 highest grossing movies of all time anyway? So
Yeah.
It's Avatar, Infinity War, Endgame, and what's the other one?
Avatar.
Avatar 2.
Yeah.
I thought there was another franchise she was involved in that was massive. I swear there's one outside of Marvel and...
I mean, she was in the Star Trek films, but they didn't do obviously box office like hype. So.
Maybe I'm wrong.
No, I know what you're talking about, though, JD. I thought there was a third massive
There's
thing she was a part of,
something.
too, but I'm kind of blanking.
Look it up, Jamie.
We just got asked who's got the chops to play a young Palpatine. Maybe they weren't here at the start when we did this, so if everyone can just recap who they picked to be their their prequel Palpatine, just so we can let this person know who we thought would be best.
Ranking from worst to best, I'll go first. Mine was Will
Tom
Smith.
Hiddleston.
So, yeah, JD picked Will Smith. Me and Dave went for Tom Hiddleston. Caleb, who did you have?
Christoph Waltz.
Any other names you could throw out there that you think would genuinely make a good young Palpatine?
The Austin Butler and
Young,
the
yeah.
Skarsgård choices were good.
Yeah, Skarsgård would be a good choice, wouldn't he?
Yeah, if we're doing like Plagueis era age, then yeah, we'd have to go. Yeah, I think I would still stick with Hiddleston. I don't know other than that.
What's funny because isn't Hiddleston like nearly 50 as well?
I know, but he still looks like he could be 30.
Yeah, that's fair. So let's just recap our sequel choices then. So I went with Anna Taylor-Joy for Rey, Robert Pattinson for Kylo Ren, Sebastian Stan for Poe Dameron, Michael B. Jordan for Finn, Daniel Radcliffe for General Hux. JD, just review yours for us.
Rey is Zoe Saldana. Kylo Ren is Robert Pattinson. Poe Dameron is Paul Rudd. General Hux is Jonah Hill. Oh, and then Finn is Idris. What is it?
Idris Elba.
Same thing.
Caleb.
I have Zendaya and Jacob Elordi as my Reylo. Glenn Powell as Poe. Donald Glover as Finn. And Paul Dano as General Hux.
David, you round us off with that sexy, sultry voice of yours for who you picked for the sequels.
I have got Kylo Ren and Rey combo being Jacob Elordi and Anya Taylor-Joy. We got Finn as Damson Idris. We've got Dev Patel as Poe Dameron, and we have Thomas Felton as General Hux.
Beautiful. That's our Star Wars recasting done. Before we go, gentlemen, because I know we've all got busy days ahead of us, how does the future... I know you did like your Star Wars roadmap not too long ago in terms of like what you would want for the future of Star Wars, but Star Wars is pretty quiet at the moment. Like we haven't done much this year. Next year, we've only really got maybe Ahsoka season 2 later in the year, and obviously a Mandalorian Grogu film in May. Are you excited for Star Wars being so quiet at the moment, or are you just like, I'm obviously bursting at the balls to get more Star Wars coming out, and that's just not happening at the moment? So are you guys bothered that they've decided to really cut back, or are you just wanting more out there, like the quality or the amount we were getting a few years back?
I am really bummed out at where Star Wars is right now. The franchise itself, the logo, the legendary status just seems to be dwindling away, and like it doesn't carry that impact. Like if I look at my Star Wars books, like I don't care to read them. There's nothing exciting going on, dude. If I anything for the future, I just want them to commit to the next best Star Wars trilogy. I want the best writers, best directors, and I don't all this other fluff has just been we've just been oversaturated with noise, Star Wars noise lately that isn't impactful. It doesn't like deserve a spot in the legendary echelon of Star Wars stuff. It's not a bunch of stuff I want to rewatch. Everything the past 3 years they've put out, I have no interest in rewatching. So I'm not happy with it, man. We need better Star Wars.
It's nice they cut back a little bit. They were, I think, doing a little bit too much. And they just never really had the vision. We've talked about it before. They need to I guess this Mandalorian, Grogu, Ahsoka universe could be actually leading to something. But outside of that, they're kind of all over the place. There's a solo Rey movie. I guess Daisy Ridley said it's still coming out. She said you guys are going to like it or whatever. So I guess it's still happening. And then there's a Starfighter movie, which looks good, but it's a standalone, racing kind of Star Pilot movie. So I'm so excited in a way. The video game stuff was cool, but then you find out it's nowhere as close as it should be to being released, which didn't you learn your lesson with Eclipse to not release a trailer for a game that comes out 4 years later? The director said, oh no, I don't even know if I'm going to be alive in 2030 or whatever it said. So it'll be like 2028 probably. So 2 years, but still.
We don't have a hero or villain to cling to. There's no presence. There's no Tony Stark and Captain America in the MCU. It's kind of like that this past 5 years. There's nothing to cling us to Star Wars. They got to figure out their Jedi and Sith lore, figure out heroes and villains, and give us something to attach the modern Star Wars eras to, which is kind of Mando, kind of Ahsoka, kind of Thrawn. But we haven't really seen that yet. We're just waiting and waiting and waiting.
But even that's still just stuck in there, isn't it? As being as part of the Skywalker era.
Yeah.
Because it's in there. So, I mean, Joyous Roma mentioned about more Shadow Lord coming out, which I obviously did forget about coming out soon as well. But even that, we're just going over bits of the time period that we already kind of know about and didn't really need. What we need is something outside of those time frames, isn't it? So, Dave, I want to give you, I know you're cooking something up for social media, but I just wanted to give you a second to talk about the video game stuff because I know how pleased you were to hear how long it was going to take to come out.
Yeah, I don't know. Star Wars as a whole right now, it's felt dead. I haven't really thought of it much, to be honest. And before this game news, the Darth Vader book dropped, and we're like, all right, let's all read this. We're gonna cover it. And I'm 13 or 14 chapters in, and I just have no motivation to continue. And I don't know if it's the book's problem or if I'm just, I go through periods. There are a few month periods where I'm just not super interested in Star Wars. I'm not in the Star Wars mood at that point. There's other stuff I have more interest in right now. I'm watching a bunch of horror movies for some reason. But I guess I'm not even that tripping on the Star Wars as a whole just because I haven't been thinking about it much. But that's a problem. I haven't been thinking about it because of what they've been lacking. What they haven't been doing is the reason I feel like I'm not in the mood. So we get this video game news. I'm stoked. I had no idea they're dropping anything about Knights of the Old Republic. I didn't even think they were still planning it. Last I heard, the remake got canceled too. It had been canceled, uncanceled 4 times. And all of a sudden they dropped this trailer out of nowhere. My buddy sends it to me. And I'm like, is this fake? Fate of the Old Republic? What is it? And I watched the trailer. The lightsaber ignites. Oh my God. I got so stoked. I was so stoked to hear we were getting a continuation. It's not a remake. It is a continuation. It's a separate story. We're not following Revan, but it is in the same universe, the same era. And then, the next day they go, well, yeah, but by the way, it probably won't be out till 2030 or so, which in Star Wars terms mean 2033, which means so we just got a trailer for a game that may not come out for 8 to 10 years.
Forever.
Best case 5 years, worst case never. Yeah, exactly. So that I got so excited, and then the next morning just instantly got pissed off and was just like, screw you guys. Why would you do that? Why get my hopes up there? So look, they better land this game after doing all this crap. That's all I gotta say. They put out another Star Wars Outlaws after this. I'm done with Star Wars video games.
Do you guys think they're just afraid to go outside of the Skywalker era? Because everything we've got has been contained within that. And apart from, you could say Mandalorian and Grogu is the only thing they've done that gave us new characters, really. outside of that. I mean, obviously, we had the sequels, obviously introduced us to a bunch of new characters, but even then, when we're going past the Skywalker era, they're going to do another Rey film, which is probably going to bring back Poe and Finn, and probably Chewie as well. And then, okay, we're getting the Starfighter, but it's still going to be set like only 10 years or so after that, so it's still going to be part of that almost time frame in a way. And then, you know, the Kenobi series, the Ahsoka series, everything else is still self-contained with characters we already knew. Do you think they're just, for some reason, shitting themselves about going outside of that time frame to give us something brand new that doesn't involve characters we know from those like 70 years?
Dude, sorry, go ahead.
So I think that they still have an opportunity to do that with the Rey and Finn character set. I think if you create a story moving forward with a solid villain presence, like I'm saying before, you could still do that with those characters, because that you can remove yourself from the Skywalker era, create a new problem and conflict, yet still have characters that we are semi-attached to, whether or not their trilogy was the best or not. You know, still like Rey, I still like Poe, I still like Finn, still like Kylo. He might even be in there. So I think you could still use those characters and move forward and do some great things. You just have to create a story and a conflict and villains that will also attach to.
Yeah, I just... Damn. I forgot what I was going to say.
Sorry.
I'll go first.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, the kind of issue is George Lucas always talked about how Star Wars really is a Skywalker story. Like, it's about the Skywalkers. That's what his Star Wars is, at least. So you do need to get away from that, but at the same time, the central themes of Star Wars need to stay the same, where it is about family and betrayal and stuff like that.
Authoritarianism.
So, yeah, but like, you know, but keeping it in the family at the same time. I don't know.
Yeah, which you could do with Rey too, right? Right.
It's just never going to change. It's never going to change. They're never going to get bolder regarding where they go with storytelling until the person in charge is no longer the one who has said there's just no material to go off of in Star Wars. As soon as you say something, I don't care that it was 10 years ago at this point that she said that. That just like and then nothing's changed. So it's not even like maybe she learned after a few years, oh, holy crap, there's a whole plethora of Star Wars lore out there that we can go off of outside of the Skywalker era. But clearly she hasn't acknowledged that because we're still not doing it. So I don't think we're ever going to change while she is in control, unfortunately. And I think it is, we can break away from the Skywalker thing, but it is, you got to keep what makes Star Wars Star Wars. You can bring us different characters, but don't give us new characters and totally different storytelling and totally different morals and all this different stuff that's not Star Wars anymore. Just to be like, well, we made new characters. Like, you got to keep it Star Wars, but give us some new stuff too. And I don't think we're ever going to get freshness with Kathleen Run. Thanks.
Yeah, it's a shame, isn't it? Because there's so many stories they could tell. You said the source material, even if you dig into Legends and it wasn't previous canon, doesn't matter. You've got it all tipped out there. And they've sort of tried to edge bits in, haven't they? Because like in the sequels, or especially The Rise of Skywalker, they named some of the Sith legions after famous Sith from Legends, you know, Tenebrous and Revan and a couple of others and stuff. And you're just crying out for them to go, well, you've got all the material there. And they even said that they would look at bringing some of them in, but altering, obviously, the stories from Legends. So it's like, okay, you don't need to make it verbatim the same as Legends. You can literally, obviously, just bring in the characters, keep some of it, and then change it up a bit. It's what they did with Thrawn, essentially, wasn't it? So there's no reason they can't do it. But yeah, there's never enough Star Wars for me. Obviously, I'm going to want Star Wars all the time. I don't think I get tired of it. And every now and again, I'm like, I haven't watched Star Wars for like 3 weeks. I need to watch something to like keep me going a little bit. And obviously, it's just the same stuff, unfortunately, rather than anything brand new. And I'm more into reading at the moment than I have been for a while as well. So I'm like, is it worth picking up? Like as we said, we were listening to the Master of Evil book, and it's just not been exciting. I mean, when you have it's a book about Vader, and you have huge chunks that have no Vader. It's like, okay, why are you telling me it's about Vader then when 40% of this book doesn't have Vader in it? So yeah, I'm going back to sci-fi classics. Like I'm going back to reading Isaac Asimov's Foundation series at the moment.
Oh, Asimov.
Some of the best books ever written for sci-fi. So, we'll have to get... Sorry.
Have you read The Gods Themselves?
Yes, yeah.
It's a good one. That's my one Asimov book I've read.
if you've not read the Foundation series, I implore you to go and read it or
do.
listen to it. It is absolutely some of the best stuff out there. It's really so well thought out, and the fact that he wrote the first book in 1951 and finished the last book in 1988. There's like 6 books in the or 5 books in the
George
series.
R. R. Martin style.
Well, technically, the last one he wrote was like Prelude to Foundation, so it was like a prequel book.
Okay.
But he did the first ones. I think he did the first 2 in like the 50s, or the first 3 in the 50s. Then he did like the last 2 of the series in like the early 80s. Then he went back and did the Prelude, like prequel one in like 88 or something. So before he died, he was like 71 or something when he wrote it. So
he's like one of the sci-fi gods of writing in our
yeah. I mean, everyone they use it obviously across so much sci-fi stuff. When you hear about Asimov's 3 laws of robotics, he's the one that came up with that. So, worth it. But Star Wars needs a kick in the backside, I think, at the moment. I think Dave said it's put on there. It's just like there's nothing to keep you excited at the moment. And upcoming projects are just the same characters, just with a continuation of the story. And they need to me, I know what you're saying in terms of George Lucas said it is the Skywalker era. That's what Star Wars is. But when you've got so much stuff outside of it that you can do, and you can fill in the lore from like 25,000 years in the past up to the Skywalker era, there's no excuse to not do that, especially when you've got all the stuff about the Sith Empire and the original Jedi Empire. And they talk about they're still obviously trying to do this Dawn of the Jedi film that's set 25,000 years in the past. I don't think that's ever going to get made, because I don't think they've got the balls to actually follow through and do a story that far in the past. Sure. So it's a shame. Star Wars is just getting more well known for announcing projects and never following through than they are with anything else. So 2027 onwards is when they start to kick off again, hopefully, in terms of more consistent material. Let's just see what next year brings. Is anyone rating the Maul Shadow Lord, since someone mentioned it? Like, because I actually couldn't care. I love Maul as a rebrought in character from the Clone Wars and Rebels and stuff, but like filling in the gap of what he's doing with the crime lords in that space of time between Clone Wars and Rebels, I don't think I actually care that much. What about you guys?
Yeah, it's Maul.
It's animated, so it's fun, I guess.
Yeah,
Sam, gotta love the voice.
Yeah, exactly. I'm always up
That's
for
right.
more Maul content, but I'm not like super stoked on it. I keep forgetting it's happening. So when it's out, I'm sure I'll see it and I'll check it out. I'm not expecting a ton, but it'd be cool if it even ends up being like as cool as I don't know, the first Tales of the Jedi or something like that. I'll be good with it, but we'll see.
Yeah, same boat.
Yeah, fair. All right, gentlemen, that is it for this week's Nerd Therapy, where we recast all the major characters from the Star Wars trilogies. Thank you very much for joining us. If you want to go, like I said at the start, go and catch some cool content, over 300 episodes online where you can catch everything that these guys have been doing for years and years and years. Obviously, recently we had Stranger Things. The first episodes that we covered on there has come out. Road to Secret Wars is back as well, with obviously the trailers coming soon. That announcement that there's possibly up to 4 trailers going to be shown, one each week for the first 4 weeks that Avatar's in the cinema. So that's going to be interesting to see whether people pay just to go back and see those trailers or just wait for them to come online. Got Road to Secret Wars. We've obviously got some more Stranger Things dropping towards the end of this year. Box office draft, annual Cities Awards coming up in January. That's going to be interesting. So we've got plenty to keep you entertained, even if Star Wars hasn't. So make sure you're sticking with us here at Why So Sidious. Gentlemen, thank you very much. I appreciate all your hard work this morning. Have a lovely Sunday, everyone. And we will see you next time on Why So Sidious, a Nerd Podcast.